LinkedIn, hello and welcome back to yet another Cold Call live show. There's plenty to be smiling about this Thursday afternoon. It's a sunny day. Coventry City are going to Wembley, and I'm joined by two of the best cold callers in the space as they show us some great tips and tricks as we do an hour of live cold calling. Don't say I never do anything for you, LinkedIn. But without further ado, let me introduce them to you. We have the serial offender on the show, the consistent meeting booker, the world's most hated sales trainer, Benjamin Dennehy, joined by the co-founder of the ever so successful We Have a Meeting, and someone whose LinkedIn content always reminds us that we will die soon. It is Jack Frimston.
Up there.
How are we doing?
Good to see you, Liam. Thank you for having us.
No worries, no worries. Yeah. How's the week's been?
Good. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Can't complain.
Awesome. For those that don't know, we're doing something slightly different this time. So usually myself and Benjamin will cold call for Trainio and the guests will cold call for whatever product or service that they are providing. However, we're mixing it up. We have with us today some guests who Jack and Benjamin still do not know who they are. I found out a little while ago as I onboarded them onto the live show. We're going to learn about their products live on the show and then cold call for it to see if we can book any meetings. So to give you an example of what we mean, I'm going to do that in a selfless plug. So we're not going to pitch the product. We don't need to know which API plugs into what in order to sell this. We're going to solely focus on the problems and see if we can find any prospects resonating with that. So an example, not a plug, an example, Trainio's SDR hiring platform. We train people over 8 weeks using the best salespeople in the industry, showing them how to be fantastic SDRs before placing them into awesome tech companies. If I was to ring somebody up and spat that down the phone, we probably wouldn't get too far. However, we focus on the problems of reps taking too long to ramp, entry-level SDRs usually churning out, and adding more diversity to the pipeline. They're the problems we can take to a call to eventually get a conversation. So that's how we're going to do it. Without further ado, let me introduce you all to the mystery guests, George Suarez and Dylan. Hello, how are we doing?
Thanks for having us on. It's exciting to see what you guys have been doing every week, every month, and we're excited to be part of it. Essentially, we're SDRs with fancy titles. We realized that writing cold emails suck. We would send over 1,000 emails because our managers would tell us, and maybe we got one response and they would tell us to F off. So we wanted to come up with a better way of writing cold emails where it didn't impact the SDRs. But I'll let Dylan over here pitch what we do.
Yeah. So you guys are cold callers, but email is part of the game too, but it can be frustrating for a lot of reps. So OpenBox helps folks get closer to quota by automating that research and the email writing portion of it to have more relevant conversations. And unlike a lot of other AI email tools at the moment, or AI tools in general that write a wide variety of copy, OpenBox is really laser focused on harnessing AI for sales specifically. So that means that, imagine creating meaningful, personalized emails to catch your buyer's attention and make that scalable across your entire account base or territory, not just a select set of accounts or target personas.
Okay. So personalized email at scale.
Yeah.
Okay. I can got a few things we can go for here. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
So what does it fix?
Yeah, fixes the problem of, at least for me personally, I gave up on email, and that just wasn't a channel, right? So
why did you give up?
Because people don't see results, right? You put a bunch of effort in,
Trade-off.
and there's a trade-off between effort and time booked, and oftentimes that trade-off doesn't make sense in a rep's head or when they're prioritizing their time, right? So
do we know the reasons why they weren't read? So was it that they were read and they thought the content was crap? Was it because they were getting caught in spam filters? Was it because, do you know why? Because this is what we got to fix, right? So what was it about the emails that was so bad that you gave up on them?
Yeah, most of the time it can be deliverability issues. That's not necessarily the problem we fix. The problem we fix is the content of getting an email open, a subject line that's relevant, a first line, and the content that's readable, mobile friendly, but also compelling. So what is the prospect doing? What's their job? What are their concerns? And how does the solution that you solve relate to them? And we create messaging that conveys the message to the buyer in a way that makes sense, and is compelling for them to start a conversation.
And I'm assuming the AI constantly updates the latest trends that are working.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm assuming the AI constantly updates the latest trends that are working within the email space.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. We do our own research to see what the best practices are in the industry, but as well, we know that we could do all the research we want, but the people actually sending the emails are the ones that know the most. So we've integrated a feedback loop system in our system that allows them to vote what types of emails they like and they dislike, and our models are able to learn what types of emails to generate over time.
So you guys probably improve the open rates and reply rates of emails.
Exactly. Our end goal is to help SDRs book meetings through emails.
Yeah. Remove the time it takes to personalize emails and keep up to date with the latest trends that are working within the email world.
Of course. Yeah.
You nailed it.
That's probably what I'm going to go with. Any more questions from Jack or Benjamin?
What's an email? Never heard of one.
It's a great question.
Telegram.
Actually.
Come on.
Telegram, like a pigeon.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Slow
Like a
and
written
comfortable.
version of a cold call. Right, okay.
Okay. So, and I would want this because I've got a room full of shit salespeople, right?
Hopefully,
Come on. I mean, if you're selling, this is it, right? I've given up on cold calling. My guys suck. It's cheaper to get a bit of robots to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a few different sorry, we're getting a little bit of lag here, but there's a few different folks that find this valuable, and it's pretty interesting. It's even people that are really good at cold calling. You can, bolster your pipeline generation efforts by adding a not super heavy lift and getting some supplement from your email channel as well. And the folks that maybe that are good at email, that maybe spend a little too much time there and should actually spend some more time on the phones. If you're one of those people, you know who you are. This can help you get through your email tasks a little quicker.
That's cool. Yeah. So they don't spend too long personalizing. It gives them more time to go and jump on the phone.
Yeah.
or other outbound channels that they do, like video or social selling.
Okay.
With you.
All right. So what am I going to say? Okay. So obviously we're all creating our own pitch thing. So this will be interesting because we're all going to have different ones. So yeah.
This is the fun bit, Benjamin.
Yeah, this is it. Okay, right. Okay.
I think I've got one, but I'll be interested to hear what you two do, because you two are probably going to be a little bit better than me at this.
Okay. Okay, it's interesting because this flies in the face of everything I teach. Selling an email software. I mean, it's outrageous.
Well,
I can't believe I'm
Play
doing
the
it.
telephone, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Why can't we just hire you and you just do this for us?
Oh, dearie me. All right.
Actually.
We'll make this up as we go. This is going to be interesting, actually, because, okay, give it up on cold calling. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just going to have to make this up as we go, right?
And we'll be here for any questions that you guys have. Not sure if that's a rule, but
yeah, stick around. We might need you after a phone call to clear some things up for sure. Yeah. Anyone in the comments got a script they can throw in? Anyone want to have any ideas how they tackle it? We'll get a bit interactive. We'll ping it up on screen if anyone's got any ideas.
Okay. Right. Just we don't have to finesse this. I would spend a while on this, but we have to crack on because all those salespeople that aren't prospecting or sending emails are watching this right now. Are you guys in the United States then? I'm guessing you are.
yeah, we actually just moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma. We got accepted into an accelerator. We moved from California, so we're here to make things happen and change the way that salespeople communicate through email.
Okay. Okay. So frustrated.
Oklahoma.
Been there before?
No, but I'd love to go there. I'd love to stand in a cornfield as high as an elephant's eye. You know the musical? Oklahoma, where the wind comes running. No, just me. That degree in musical theatre, God, that was worth it.
It's took you far.
Something interesting that I forgot to mention in our tool, we allow you to pick what type of tone you want our system to write in. So we have like funny, empathetic, conversational, really allowing our sales reps pick the tone to be at a standard of personalization. So imagine like, reps, they might be tired one day. So if they're tired, they're not obviously going to write the quality of an email. They're not going to put the effort in. Our system creates a standard of personalization. So no matter what their energy levels are like, how happy or sad they are, their emails will always be great.
Okay. What do you, if we're imagining that it's a sausage machine and what you produce at the end is this gorgeous, funny, personalized email, what do you have to put into the sausage machine to get this out?
Yeah, great question. So it starts on the back end, something you have to put in once, which is your the personas. So like the pain points of your persona and how your solution can help them solve those problems. And then you take a piece of personalization. Our system, the research part of the system is we pull some insights from LinkedIn and other sources that you can select to use, given a person's LinkedIn link and like their profile. And then it blends all those together into a cohesive full email or an intro line you can put into a template, all that kind of stuff. We also have a rewrite feature. So if you've written an email and you're like, it's got the contents there, but it can get a little better. You can put it in and it runs it through 2 filters. There's a content filter that can help bolster the message to your persona based on the context you've already preloaded in. And it also runs it through a structure filter, making sure it's, mobile friendly and not too wordy and that kind of stuff.
Okay. And the personalization, it always gets me email personalization. What bits is it grabbing? Is it like saying, I've seen that we both like a guitar, or I've seen that we both did a degree in musical theatre at University of Cumbria. Is it that kind of things, or?
Yeah, I mean, personalization, the definition of it has changed a lot over the years. I mean, if you can go back, like personalization meant putting your first name and company name, right? And then it meant using something like, hey, I noticed you live in New York. Have you tried this pizza place? Which sucks, right? How is that relevant? How does that connect to the user, right? So what we do is by you putting your value prop, by putting your prospects pain points, we tailor the value prop based off the information that we're finding, the relevant information. So it's like, you see all these cold emails, every value props is the same, but does it really connect with the prospect? Normally it doesn't. So we've figured out a way to make that value prop connect to that prospect every single time in a unique way. No one's ever getting the same email.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow.
Here we are.
Ready to rock and roll.
I
have a
It's
question.
interesting.
Oh, go on.
No. I was just saying it was interesting.
I have something that might spark a potential giveaway later on in the show, George and Dylan. Someone's asking if you have any free trials.
Yeah, so we're doing something special, something that we've never done before. We're giving away 50% off our tool for 3 months. All you have to do is put in the code TRAINYO, capitalize the T and the Y. And besides that, anyone that tags OpenBox in the comments, we're giving away 10 free licenses, and we'll select that towards the end. Not of this show, we'll put something on our post, and we'll select 10 random people based off a spinning wheel, and you'll have a free license of OpenBox.
Get tagging away. Right, are we potentially ready to make some dials?
Yeah, I just grabbed my phone. I forgot it. It's over here. Got the phone.
Oh, this could go really well, or it could go terribly wrong. But that is cold calling. That's why I'm sure the majority of the audience is here today. So let's crack on.
All right.
So we just start dialing. That's
Just
it.
start dialing. If somebody gets a pick up, the other two can stop and listen to the call. Let's
Yeah.
all dial at the same time and see what happens.
Have you ever done anything like this before, Benjamin?
A few times,
It's exciting.
but I've never sold an email platform. That's
Neither have I.
well, where's my phone? Right, where's my list? Oh.
What are your thoughts on voicemails, Benjamin?
That's not me. No. I'm sorry.
I've got a wrong number there.
Oh, did someone get someone then? I thought someone was talking. No. Right. I'm gonna hit. We're gonna die.
Hello.
Hi, is that Charles?
No, sorry, but you got the wrong number.
Oh, then I
Who's
guess
that?
I'll be honest with you. It was actually a sales call, so I don't know if that makes you want to slam it back down
Even
or
worse, mate.
even worse. Are you down at Redis Lab still, or have I completely off track here?
Yeah, completely off track, mate. Good luck, mate. So, mate, you got it sorted.
Yeah, sounds like I've got it all sorted.
Cheers, mate.
Sorry for that. Take care. Complete wrong number.
You gotta love it. Okay, I hit the dial tone.
Here we go, back in the game.
This is Peter. Colleague. And they suggested that we should probably get something cut off.
He's going to call you back at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, he will too. Is anyone going to get Rory? That's the question.
That was brilliant.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Dean, I'll be up front. This is a cold call. I'm not too sure if that means you want to hang up now or give me 30 seconds and then decide.
Go for it.
Awesome. So I speak to a lot of sales leaders who tell me they're getting a lot of success at the moment at multi-channeling their outreach. However, when it comes to things like email, they have a few certain issues. Some are getting really frustrated with their open and reply rates of their reps. Others find that their reps are taking far too long. Personalizing emails is actually taking time away from things like cold calling. And finally, actually keeping up with the latest trends in the email world of what's working and constantly relating that back to the team is actually a really difficult thing to do. But I suppose you'll tell me that you don't recognize any of that, right?
Well, no. What I'm going to tell you is that you probably need to speak with somebody else in our organisation about it. But that sounds like a cop-out, but it's actually true. I'm literally not anything kind of to do with that side of things. So if I was you, I'd reach out via LinkedIn or whatever to a guy called Magnus Barber, and he manages the team of DDEs that are, constantly targeting people via those methods.
Makes perfect sense. I appreciate the point in the right direction. I think Magnus might actually be next on my list of people to call. So that's handy.
There you go. You've got the right guy there then.
Yeah. All right, cool. See ya.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Is Magnus next on the list?
Magnus is next on the list.
Call him, Liam. Let's see.
Yeah, let's listen to this and then we'll start dialing. Yeah. Well done, Liam. Very good.
It was very good.
Thank you. I appreciate that from you too. Come on, Magnus.
Come on, Magnus.
It's not to be today. It's not to be.
I feel like Magnus is going to call you back. I've got a good feeling.
Feel it in the bones.
Feel it in the bones. Right, let's dial. That's not healthy.
Welcome to the EE voicemail.
Hopefully it's not one of those days.
Hello, Henry speaking.
Hello, Henry. I'm going to be completely honest with you because I'm sure you get so many calls like this. It is a sales call.
This is a really bad time. I'm in the hospital with my daughter. So could you call me back in a couple of weeks? This is important.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry to hear that.
Sorry.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cold calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. The amount of times I've called someone and they say, you're looking for John. Yeah. John died 2 years ago. So, the joys of cold calling.
Hello, is that Ashley?
Yeah.
Ashley, look, I'll be up front. You're probably going to hate me. This is actually a sales call. I'm not sure if you want to hang up now or let me have 30 seconds and then decide.
Oh my God, it's just Benjamin Dennehy.
Oh, get out of here. That's not fair.
Oh, you've got 30 seconds. Yeah, go for it.
I got 30 seconds. You're not supposed to know who this is. This ruins the whole thing.
Did you want to do it again?
No, I can't do it now. You know who I am.
Why are you calling me?
Oh, well, if I tell you, you'll probably kill me. No, look, I'll tell you why I'm calling, though. I'm just doing some work, helping out a company, and they get in front of people probably like yourself, and you've got, SDRs and salespeople, but you're probably a little bit frustrated. They don't spend enough time on the phone. And you, yeah, I know, but these guys.
I'm laughing because I know I've literally watched your stuff for ages. So
No, well, I'm trying out a new pitch today. You gotta help me here.
Oh, are you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. This. Believe it or not, this is about emails. Yeah, can you believe it? Right. So no, this is true though. Now, as you know, I'm not a big fan of emails, but a lot of people are frustrated because the guys aren't picking up the phone. So what they do is they send emails. Now, emails can be very effective, but if they're not personalized, if they're not done in the right way, it can be extremely irritating. Engagement's low, people don't open them. And you're probably annoyed that when they spend their time spending all this time creating these emails, nothing comes of it. Does any of that resonate?
All of it.
No. You're just saying that because you know it's me, right?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Well, of those, which is it? If you can only fix one, which do you pick first? Is it the not actually bothering to pick up the phone? So if you eliminate that, is it number one? Now you're probably a bit. I guess you'd be a little frustrated too that spending money on them for training is kind of a waste of time a lot of the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they don't learn and they don't change. So if you could find a way to get more meetings without having to use the guys on the phone, what would you say?
Pipeline is the key to everything, isn't it?
Okay.
So, yeah, that's definitely something that we're looking at. However,
Yes.
I have asked the team as well.
Yes.
It's like, if they were to pay for their own training, would they do it? And surprisingly, a lot of them said no.
Good, because I'm not selling cold calling sales training.
What are you telling me?
Well, this is odd. You're not supposed to know who I am. So the pitch would have gone a lot easier. No, what I'm getting in front of people is a sophisticated bit of AI that generates amazing emails that actually get opened and actually increase response rate, which in the result leads to more meetings. Now, as you just said, why waste any money on real humans when you get a machine to do a better job, right? Right. So let me ask you a question. If you saw what we did and you genuinely believe this would get better, and let me ask you a question. If you could get rid of some of your worst employees and replace them with a sophisticated email marketing system, would you? Right. So let's pretend you see our solution, and I mean, I'll show it to you, and you genuinely believe it's going to help you get more meetings and you can have less staff. What would you do? Would you be willing to hear me out for another 45 minutes to an hour?
Yeah, of course. Although,
Yes.
although I have influence on decision making,
Yes.
I wouldn't say I'm the ultimate decision maker.
Okay.
However, that is my boss. That would ultimately have the final say on that. But he, of course, won't have time to be looking at things like this. I will.
Right. And I take it he takes your advice and guidance?
Yeah.
Yeah, your trusted advisor?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And let's pretend you liked it and you took it to... Is this something you think he'd be willing to explore or invest in? Or are you saying that even if it was good, he would say, no, make the guys pick up the phone?
I mean, we try to have a multi-channel approach. So
Yeah.
email is one aspect of it.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, a lot of the reps use email because
It's
they
easier.
are worried that they're not picking up the phone and speaking to actual
Yeah.
humans. So
Yeah.
if it's a channel that everyone's using more so, then it might be something that we'd be looking to invest in.
Okay.
It's not lavender by any chance, is it?
No, it's not lavender. No, it's not. No, this isn't some cheesy collaboration, I can assure you. So look, I'm just thinking here out loud. Well, let me ask you a question. Is there any reason you wouldn't want to explore it further then?
I mean, no, there's no reason why I wouldn't want to explore it further.
Okay. Now, obviously, like I said, we don't know if this is going to be right for you or whether or not you're pleased with the structure and how it works. But assuming it does, have you got your diary there? Have you got your diary there by any chance?
Of course I have. To be fair, I would have. Yeah.
I know. I feel this feels really unfair because you know who I was, and you've taken all the challenge out of this. You know that.
Yeah, to be fair, I should have been more challenging.
You should have been horrible to me, yes.
Yeah, and I suppose at the end of this, you're going to ask me if I can think of any reason why I wouldn't be able to attend.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
And what are you going to say?
No, not that I can think of right now.
We got plenty of time to think about it. So, all right.
Next Thursday's good for me.
Next Thursday's good for you. What time are you looking at?
10 o'clock.
10 a.m. Can I take an email off of you and I'll get someone to reach out and set that up?
Yeah.
It's
Just muted him for GDPR purposes there, everyone. But that's what happens when you become super famous in the world of sales.
What a guy.
Your voice alone can book meetings. Jack, while he's muted, I think we should just crack on with some calls, mate.
Absolutely. I don't know what to do now. I can't walk in the
I'm
shadow.
almost shocked. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to beat that.
Let's hope no one else is in hospital.
Let's hope, yeah. Our fingers are crossed.
all right. He's just figured out he's on LinkedIn Live.
Hello.
I know. Well, look. I'll get those details over to you, and someone will reach out to you. But you know what? This is one of those bittersweet meetings because it shouldn't have happened this way. But anyway, you're going to enjoy the product, and if you like it, who knows? You maybe have to fire all those lazy SDRs. How about that?
Exactly that.
Yeah, and you can put me out of a job. Put me out of a job. I need to get out of this. So put me out of a job.
Yeah. Well, let's all rely on ChatGPT.
All right. Well, look, Ashley, it's been a real pleasure, and thank you once again for being such a good sport.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, what an absolute fucking... It doesn't matter. It's live. Well, that was unplanned, folks. That's completely random calling. That was not meant to happen.
That's what happens when you are known in the game.
It threw me, actually, because I completely lost... Can you hear me? I can't hear anyone.
Yeah, we got you. Can you hear us?
Oh, I muted you guys. Sorry.
Hello.
Right. Anyway, I'll forward this guy's details to you guys, George.
Beautiful work, Benjamin.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't take any credit for that. I don't think that's fair.
Hang on, let me just get my camera accent loaded up and I'll do the next one.
Yeah,
will you take a nice commission check when that closes?
I want to see that video being clipped up of the part where he says, "Oh my God, did you just?" That needs to be on your website. That was hilarious.
Yeah, we will cut this up. There's some good stuff there. Anyway, I'm not going to take any credit for that because that's not actually fair. So, yeah, that's zero. Still zero. Still zero. All right, someone else. I'll make some more dials though, and yeah.
Voicemail service for.
Hi, is that Patrice?
Yes.
Hello, Patrice. I'm going to be very honest with you because I'm sure you get so many calls like this.
It's a cold call. Thanks for letting me know. Very nice.
It is a sales call. Well, now you know. Does that make you want to slam the phone back down or do you want to let me have 30 seconds?
You should go quick. That's fine. Go ahead.
All right, I'll go as quick as I can. So I'm typically invited in by sales leaders who, if they are completely honest, they might be struggling with one of the following problems. So they're frustrated that their reps spend hours manually writing emails when their time could be spent better elsewhere, or they find their current email cadences are dull, unimaginative, and leave the prospect wishing they hadn't even opened their inbox, or they just aren't getting in front of enough people, which leaves them wondering where the next chunk of pipeline's coming from. I do have a feeling, Patrice, you're probably going to tell me none of those problems exist in your world.
I won't. So continue, assuming I have them.
Assuming you have them. Okay. Well, if we were to assume that one of those stood out to you the most, what one would you say that was?
Not spending enough time in front of the customer.
Not spending enough time in front of the customer. And can you give me an example of what that looks like in your world?
Being swamped in internal meetings and alignment and stuff like that. I'm not sure it has very much to do with like the time it takes for them to write emails, but
right. Okay. So it sounds like yourself and maybe team members are spending a lot of time in internal meetings that probably have no relevance to the day-to-day job, which means they can't spend enough time prospecting. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask a bit of a direct question? When did you first realize that was a problem?
A very long time ago.
A very long time ago. Did you say a very long time ago?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think that exists? Why do you think it's been like that for so long?
Because just the way the business works, it takes time to align different teams, different people. It takes a lot of time, and therefore they shy away from being in front of the customer where they should be to make a difference and an impact on the business.
Okay. Can I ask a really direct question then?
Yes.
Why don't you just sack them all?
Because they're not bad people, and it's not always their fault. I would say it's just the way we're organized. But anyway, tell me what you do, because I'm gonna have to move. So, what's your proposal?
It's a good point. If I told you that we've created a piece of software, it uses AI. So we link with the World Wide Web, and we use a wonderful piece of AI that makes meaningful, personalized emails, so your reps don't have to spend all their time in internal meetings, but the prospects they want to get in front of are actually receiving emails that they'd like to read. If I told you we've created that, what would you tell me?
Okay. Give me a trial, and I'll tell you if it's interesting. That's what I will tell you.
Give you a trial. Okay, that's fine. So I guess if we could show you how it worked and you believe that it worked, would there be any reason why you wouldn't want to sit down and we could show you how this worked?
It's fine, but I think the best way is for you to talk to my head of SDRs in the UK, because the SDRs spend a long time trying to craft emails, and I would start by that and see what she thinks.
Okay. And when I talk to him, what do you think he'll tell me?
Sorry, say it again.
When I talk to him, what do you think he'll tell me?
That's to her, and I think she'll be listening to what you have to say and see if she's tried something like that before.
Okay. And I'm guessing it would be impossible to sit down with a pair of you, and if we showed you by the end that you believe that this worked, that sounds like something we wouldn't be able to do.
I would like her to take a look first, and then if she thinks it's good, then I'm happy to take a look.
Okay, fantastic. Do you have a number?
I do have a number. I have a name, if you want. Dennehy.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So,
what's the best email?
Just going to mute and cover the GDPR. We're going to bounce in and out of dodging those problems.
Can I be really upfront and honest with you before I let you go?
Yes. Last point. Go ahead.
The last point. I promise. I'll be honest. There's not really much to send in an email, and obviously you're the man that we wanted to kind of showcase this to. I know that you might not be the man that makes the final decisions, but I'll give her a call after this anyway. Would it be impossible to sit down and run through it in 30 minutes?
Not now. Honestly, I'm swamped. So just send me the email, send me the link to your company. I'll take a quick look. She'll take a look, and then if she thinks that's okay, then I'll happy to spend 30 minutes. Okay?
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I think my competitive nature got the better of me there.
It's good though. It's good.
I got a little bit needy towards the end.
Hey Jack, I love the call. I wanted to support your call even more. So on our website, if someone puts in their email and their LinkedIn URL, OpenBox will send them a personalized email to them. So when they say send me an email, it's like perfect. We'll send you an actual personalized email. And if you hate it, please don't respond. But if you love it, we have to take a meeting.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I
You
mean,
took
we
the
are,
call.
it was. I thought it was wicked. I learned lots just from how you handled certain objections there. So I thought that was cool. We are halfway through, or just over halfway through. So it might be an acceptable time to spin out to the audience. You've heard each one of us on the phone now. Does anyone have any questions? If not, we can carry on calling. But now's the time to throw it in there. You've got a couple of really good cold callers at your disposal at the moment to answer any questions you have. We've got wild uns. We've got mirroring on points. I think I saw some earlier, actually. I might have to scroll up to this one. No questions. It might be a delay on the how quick.
We saw one question on there from Greg Wilson. It says, my employees can do this already with current AI and it's free. Respond. I think Dylan has a really great answer for this one.
Yeah. Sure. Do we have the freedom to go there, Liam?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So when it comes to free AI, I assume you're talking about ChatGPT, and like it's a cool tool. It's really awesome. But I feel like it's more so writing really good 7th grade essays, if you will, right? Tend to be wordy, takes a lot of refining and takes a lot of developing to reprompt it and get to a good final result. Cool thing about systems like OpenBox AI, we've taken the time to do all that on the front end, so you guys don't have to. You just find the information about your prospect, put it in, bam, 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 it's good to go. So that's kind of where the benefit comes in when you use a sales-specific tool, as opposed to like a ChatGPT that's more general and can write you a blog post or some website copy or a letter to your aunt, whatever you want to do, right? You're not writing letters to your aunt with OpenBox. You're writing targeted sales emails to your prospects.
Sweet. I have a question for Jack and Benjamin.
All right.
Oh, is this recorded? I don't know that.
I can answer that one. Yes, it is recorded. Let me show you. Here it is.
Oh yeah, we're live, coast to coast. What? Okay. I'm trying to find a question.
How do you choose when to pitch the product after they ask what you do versus qualifying further? So, I feel like I've got a real nice memory of this, Benjamin. I think about last year, we were talking about Socratic questioning. We were just going back and forth, me and you, just like one Socratic question after the other. So when to pitch the product after they ask what you do, it's great to get Socratic with it in terms of, if I told you we X, Y, whatever it is, what would you tell me? Or what, and then kind of lead that way. What
I was going to say, if you were listening to Jack when he was asked, so what is it you guys do? He goes, well, if I told you we do da 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 da, what would you say? And so it's your way of not going into detail on what you do, because no one cares. I need the summary. This is what we do. If you believed it, what would you say? Oh, yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, you don't have to go into, well, what we do is, no, that's where you lose people. Just, Jack did it very, very well, actually, if you were listening to him. Yeah, always answer a question with a question, but you can put the answer in the question. Yeah? If I told you, what would you say? It's an amazing technique.
Very kind words there, Benjamin, from the GOAT. So I appreciate it.
I've got to hand over to the younger people at some point. I'm getting too old for this. People know me now. Where's all the fun in this?
I don't do this anymore.
Liam, I saw a brilliant question from Daniel Gelling. Can you see that one? How do you stay motivated when getting rejected on the phone? I think that it's a very hard one that takes a lot of practice. Memento mori up there is a big one. Remembering that you will die at one point is so it's like, well, what is a little bit of cold calling, and the way that our bodies feel like when we get rejected, like we're 7 years old again, and we've been embarrassed, and the gorgeous girl / boy has said no, that they won't go to the prom with us. But it all dates back to how we were thousands of years ago as chimps. And if we got rejected, we thought we'd actually die, we'd be banished from the tribe. So you've got to have this logical conversation with yourself that if somebody rejects me, yeah, it might hurt, my face might sting, I might go a bit pink for a minute, but I'm not actually physically going to die. So it's kind of the wiring, which I think is important.
I would also say, when I'm prospecting, I'm expecting to get more no's than yeses. So a no doesn't shock or surprise me. It doesn't hurt me. Secondly, as you see Jack and as Liam are doing, the way we structure the calls is we talk about the things we fix. If someone says, well, I don't have those, they aren't rejecting me. They aren't rejecting my business. They're rejecting what we fix. And I don't want to talk to people that don't have the problems we fix because it's a waste of both our time. So you have to set yourself up not to become demotivated. So expect to get a lot of no. So I know if I'm prospecting, probably 8 in a row are going to tell me to sod off. I'll take that. I don't mind. It's number 9 and 10 that I'm waiting for. And if it comes earlier, great. So yeah. And remember, the worst thing that can happen on a cold call is they hang up. You know, stop taking this seriously. I mean, crikey, it's cold calling. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, wise words.
It's important. We do it with our team. So every one of them's got a magic number. So they know if I have X many conversations today, typically on average, I book 1 or 2, whatever it is, work out your magic number. So like Benjamin said, like you'll have the stats and the data. Well, I know that for every 10 connections, I typically book 1. So you're not expecting anything before the first 10. So it's just moving the goalposts and removing that.
I'll give you a little thing I do with people. Get a little piece of paper and draw like 50 squares. And then each square, you got to put an N. And it's the last one. Number 50 has a Y. And I used to set myself a competition. I had to try and get 49 no's in a row. Do you know how hard it is to get 49 no's in a row if you try to get them? Yeah? So it forced me to learn to get better at asking questions because I thought, fuck, I'm going to try and get rid of these people. But by doing that, you develop the questioning techniques that make you more efficient. So go for no. There's a whole book called Go for No. I don't know what it's about, but I assume it's about this, right? Go for the no, and you can't be disappointed. In fact, you'll be annoyed when you get a yes. All right. Have you got anything else?
I got one more, maybe. Then we can make a few more calls as we close for 10 minutes. So maybe we can do more questions at the end. How do you draw a line between qualification and closing? At what point of the call do you go for close?
I would say at a point where they're emotional enough. I would judge it on maybe some emotion. You've found a bit of an impact. So it's like there's a problem, there's an impact, a bit of root cause, future state in there. Are they at a point where they're emotional? You want it closing is such a fine line. You don't want it to feel like a close. Like it's the best calls are the ones where it gets naturally. Like Benjamin's guy that he was speaking to was like, well, what do we do next? Like, cool. Well, do we sit down? Yeah.
I never asked for a meeting. I hate that. It's always, can you invite me in? So I'll be upfront and honest. That call I just did earlier where the guy said he wants to meet, if that was me watching, I would have said that's not a good enough meeting, personally. Yeah, I would have said that's not a good meeting. And the only reason that happened is because he knew who I was and he was friendly. But that I don't think that, from my own standards, I wouldn't do that meeting because I don't think it was good enough. Jack's one, had the guy said yes, would have been a good meeting because he picked one of the problems. He explained why it was annoying. You could hear in his voice that there was something there. So that would be someone, for whatever reason, he didn't want to meet now. That's fine. But had that gone through, that would be what you call a good meeting. Yeah. Mine, I would say no. Actually, it wasn't good. I'm going to be upfront about that. Just getting a meeting doesn't make you good. Yeah. Mine was a random fluke funny thing, right? Jack's was far better in the way he did the call. So just bear that in mind, everybody.
It's the old analogy, isn't it? Do they have a problem and are they motivated to fix that? You don't need to, like, when I mean, no one's asking about budget, but getting into the whole budget game, no one has budget for something you've cold called them about. They weren't expecting your cold call. So trying to take them through BANT is bullshit, personally. So it's like, how big's the problem? Like, well, yeah, I've been saying this. That whatever his name was, Patrice said forever, like such a long time.
Yeah.
Or like, So has he accepted that that's the way things have to be now? And it sounded like he had, or was he like, actually, I am motivated. I've been thinking about this. It's been keeping me up at night. But he was an interesting guy.
And it's almost like your line of questioning doesn't force that upon the prospect. They almost guide themselves through those steps, which probably what leads to a natural cause of meeting towards the end of those cold calls. Appreciate with that guy with Patrice, he didn't want to take it and put you elsewhere, but he almost guided himself and brought up. You didn't have to really push it on him at all.
Exactly. Right. We should make a few more dials because we don't have long.
Yeah, cool. Let's see if we can get a few more conversations before the hour's up.
Okay. Who am I calling? Sorry, Jamie.
Hi, this is Jamie.
Voicemail.
This is the boat.
Hi there. 447.
Hi, is that Karen? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi, sorry, I can't, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Is it Karen?
No, it's not. Karen used to work for Perdcom. She left probably about 6 years ago.
She left 6 years ago. Oh
Yeah.
dear. Why am I calling her on this number? I guess it sounds like this phone hasn't been taken over by the new sales director.
No, it hasn't.
No. Do you do anything exciting?
I'm in the sales team, on the connectivity sales team, but what was the call in regards to?
Well, I'll be very honest with you. It was a sales call, so I don't know if it is relevant, if you want to slam the phone back down or let me run through it in 30 seconds and see if it was relevant.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, brilliant. Well, I'm typically invited in by sales leaders who, if they're completely honest, they might be struggling with one of the following problems. So they're frustrated that their reps spend hours manually writing emails when their time could be spent better elsewhere, or they find their current email cadences are dull, unimaginative, and leave the prospect wishing they had never opened their inbox, or they just aren't getting in front of enough people, which leaves the pipeline looking dull and empty. But I do have a feeling you're probably going to tell me that you would never make a decision on this and none of those problems exist in your world.
Well, it's funny you should say that because we are actually looking at a CRM system just to kind of, maximize the account manager's time so that's spending less time on administration. So it might be worth a further conversation. I can't obviously give any information out from our side, but you're more than welcome to send an introductory email over to hello@purdy.com, which is looked after by our senior directors only, so they will be able to have visibility.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry, that email again, what was that? That was hello@?
Purdy.com, and that goes to our HR director, managing director, the sales director, as well as the marketing manager as well.
Okay, fantastic. Right, and I guess before I send that over, when I mentioned those three problems, so they're frustrated, or the email cadences are dull, or they're just not getting him through. What stood out of the three that made you say it might be of interest?
I'm not sure, to be honest. One of them was around pipeline that you mentioned, so making the pipeline more manageable without consuming too much time. So that was the particular one that kind of piqued my interest, essentially.
Okay. And can you give me an example of what that kind of looks like in your world?
Oh, it's all manual. It's all manual and time consuming, essentially.
Right, it's all manual at the moment. But I guess that. So, am I right in thinking it sounds like what's actually going in? So your sales team is smashing it. There's lots of pipeline, but it's just a bit of a manual process.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of the actual day-to-day prospecting, it sounds like everything's perfect there.
No, not at all. Nothing's sort of perfect, really. There's always room for improvement.
Always room for improvement. Okay. Your sales team, obviously, you mentioned you're part of the sales team. What does prospecting look like on a day-to-day basis?
It's very different for each individual. Sorry, you have gone over 30 seconds, just an FYI.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to have to cut you short there, just because I am in the sales team, so I've got my calls to be making as well. But yeah, feel free to drop an email over to that address that I sent you, and if there is interest, because I know they are looking for a platform at the moment, so if there is interest, they'll be able to get in touch with yourself.
Sure, absolutely. And I guess I'm a buyer as well. I don't know, while we're on this call, if you want to try and sell something to me. It's entirely up to you.
What is it that you buy?
Well, I'm a director of a sales agency, so I don't know if it would be relevant if you want to pitch me.
For a sales agency for this particular software, essentially, that you're selling on to?
Well, yeah, so I'm working on behalf of a client today. So what we do is we go out to the market and we find people that have the problem. So I do this for a number of different clients. So I'm always in the market to buy things, but it's up to you if you want to pitch me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we particularly focus in anything to do around connectivity. So Wi-Fi related connectivity for different verticals like hospitality, coffee shops and restaurants, etc. But not just on the indoor perspective. So we have a well-rounded solution. So building to building. A lot of my customers sit in the internet service provider kind of vertical. So it's a lot of backhaul space for 4G network access as well. So I don't know if you kind of operate in similar verticals where you could, when you're upgrading people's Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi 6 or providing an onboarding solution for end users onto a business's Wi-Fi network.
It could always be faster.
It can always be faster. That's not down to the access point necessarily. That's not down to the product that's been using. So if you want faster network, so from your phone to the network, essentially, to connect to the internet, you want that to be faster.
Well, I don't know. I've turned this round, and I might regret it now. I'm probably not the most technical-headed person in the world.
That's all right. That's okay. Well, I appreciate your time anyways this afternoon. What was your name? I didn't catch it at the start of the call.
My name's Jack.
Jack. And where is it you're calling from?
If I told you I was calling from a company called We Have a Meeting, what would you tell me?
I would Google it and see if that was the name of your company.
That is the name. WHAM for short. WeHaveAmeeting.com. But yeah, it was a nice pitch. You've got a lovely tonality, a very strong pace. I thought it was very good.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. And yeah, same to you as well. You managed to get some information out for me that I never really thought about, to be honest.
Well, there you go. So I'm guessing if I said now at the end of all of that, is it worth us sitting down for some time next week? You're probably going to tell me that'd be the biggest waste of your time ever.
Absolutely. I'm the wrong person. You need to be pitching to make a sale, unfortunately.
That's absolutely fine. I'm going to email hello, and I'll sit by my laptop all night and wait for your managing director to reply.
Perfect. Sounds like a good plan, Jack.
Lovely speaking to you. Take care now.
You too. Take care.
Well, it's always interesting where we bloody end up with a cold call, isn't it?
Yeah. Our first ever prospect actually booked one of our guests in for a meeting for a moment.
Hey, I tell you what, there were two things that come out of that I thought were interesting. They're kind of linked. One is, if you ask for 30 seconds and don't remind them you've had it, they always pull you up on it. It's funny, eh? Prospects always remember you've asked for 30 seconds, and when they want to bail, they say, hey, you said. But then what Jack did was just go back with more questions. Because we programmed our whole life to answer a question, she ended up talking well beyond. So it's an irony, right? So, Yeah, it's very good.
I know.
Very good.
You know what the worst part of it is, Benjamin? If my team don't ask for that, then I pull them up on it. So I should know better than that.
Yeah, no, it happens. It's the heat of the moment. You're under more pressure than
It
usual.
wasn't even the right person.
No, I wondered why you were pushing for the meeting at the end when he repeatedly said, "I'm not the guy." But hey, it was good. Jack. It's very good.
Is when it was the wrong number. How you? Because what I would have done personally, I've nicked something from you there. If someone rings me and said, "No, it's the wrong number," I'd have gone, "Sorry, no worries," and hung up. But the fact you've got a cool little way of swinging it back around, not panicking, and just still speaking to a sales leader in the company. Admittedly, it's not the right person, but I'm sure on a few occasions you're speaking to the right person.
Absolutely. And your goal on a sales call is how much information can I gather? Because we love a one-call turnaround. That's great. Like it'd be amazing to try and book in whatever and get other people on the call. But then if I was trying to pitch them, effectively what I'd do is I'd take all of that information, I'd bang it into OpenBox, and I'd get them to send a personalized email to hello at whatever the company name was. But I've also got that information. I spoke with X. They told me. So if there's anyone here that sells CRMs, find that lady because she's looking for a CRM, it sounds like.
Yes, yeah.
We've got 3 minutes, 2 minutes left now. It's just Johnson. Has anyone got any questions?
I've had so much fun.
Yeah. To be fair, it's flown by. I actually really enjoyed it. We can do it again.
I'll
get you on again, Jack. No issue at all. Tell you what, I can do a quick plug. Otherwise, my boss Omar is going to kill me. We've seen Benjamin and Jack do some really cool cold call techniques here. Are you a sales leader? Do you work in sales on any form of outbound motion? If you want to train your team on exactly how to cold call like this, email in cool ways, how OpenBox deliver, send video prospects, whoever the best person in the industry does it, let us know because we can actually get your team onto a free session and we can upskill them in whichever way you like. Just give me a shout. Or if you're hiring SDRs right now, give me a shout for that too. But anyway, moving on, that's Omar off my back, and he won't absolutely batter me now after this live show. Has anyone got any questions on the call you've heard today? Anything at all? Here, first one, Samir. So, Ban, does it work or not?
Yeah, it probably works, but it's just another. It's just a nice way of saying how big is their problem, and like, are they the right person? Like I
think banned on a cold call is not a good.
Yeah, I don't use it.
No, I mean the purpose of a cold call is just to establish does someone have symptoms of what you fix. It doesn't mean when you get in front of them, when you diagnose properly, that you can fix or they have a problem you fix. And I always use COVID. I'm looking for people that have symptoms of COVID, but the symptoms of COVID can also be symptoms of other things. But the purpose of the sales meeting is when I get there to diagnose, do you have COVID or do you have something else? I can fix COVID, but I can't fix the other thing. So so I'm not going into budget and all of that on a prospecting call. I mean, no, why would I do that? Right? Yeah, no, that's talking yourself out of an appointment.
Yeah, for sure.
But someone pointed in there, and I was going to say, and it's quite true, the difference between the way Jack spoke and the woman when she gave her, what do you do? All she did was vomit features, benefits. This is what we do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean anything to you. Yeah. You got to frame it in the pay. This is what we fix. Do you have any of that? No. Fine. Yeah. So that was very interesting to see the two.
Oh, yeah. Switched off when she was, sadly, it was a lot of.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you start using acronyms, you know it's over.
Too much. Got a really good question by Rosie. We can start beginning to wrap it up because it is now 5 o'clock. But I learned this from you guys, so I'll probably leave it with you.
Oh, Rosie, you want to do that, Jack, or
you take it?
Well, remember Newton's law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. It applies the same. So if you push someone away from you, there's a force pushing them back. So negative Socratic questioning is you ask something in the negative and it forces them to either go with it or fight it. So if somebody says, I have all of those problems, I always say, no, you can't have. And then they come back saying, well, I bloody do. You see, now they're fighting for their problem. So by going the negative, I get the feeling you're going to tell me you don't recognize. I'm pushing them away. And only two, they can either swing back and say, no, I do have them. Or they say, no, you're right, I don't. So it's a way of controlling the direction of the conversation. That's why negative questioning is so powerful. Done badly, though, you're going to screw up. So you got to learn how to do it well. Jack's a very good implementer of this technique.
One of the best books to read on that is Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. And it's all about the negative bias. We always assume the worst. So if I said these 3 problems, which one of those, same as what Benjamin, which one of those applies? You're probably going to tell me people want to defend it. That inner child comes out. No, I do. I recognize it all. And then like Benjamin said, so yeah, Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. Great book.
I used to, until I met you guys and sort of copying your little techniques, I used to list my 3 problems and then just say, yeah, exactly that. I mean, which one stands out the most to you? And a lot of people just push away and say, well none of them. And that would put me on the back foot. But the second I changed that, it was almost kind of like a weird bit of magic. So I suppose you're going to tell me that none of that resonates to you in your world, or whatever version of that I do. I got a lot more. Actually, no, I do recognize this, which was a crazy thing to wrap my head around. But yeah, it seriously.
Yeah, if you try and pull someone to you, they're pulling away. So if you pull them, which one of those do you recognize? You're trying to get them to come to you. When I push them and say, I get the feeling you're going to tell me you don't notice any of these, I'm pushing them away, they swing back. So it's just simple laws of physics. Who would have thought high school physics would actually be usable in the real world of sales? But there you go.
Sales is everywhere.
It is. Newton wasn't a physicist, he was a salesman.
Just to wrap up, Dylan, George, I know you were going to give away 10 free seats. Do you want to just let people know how you're going to get in contact for those that win it?
Yeah, of course. Everyone that tagged OpenBox in the comments, we're going to review those after this call, and we're going to make maybe a live show like this, maybe like 1 minute, or maybe it's just going to be a video, and we're going to spin that wheel 10 times. Whoever we land on is going to win a free license to OpenBox. But then again, I do want to mention anyone that attended this live show gets 3 months half off thanks to Trainio. The discount code is on the screen. Thanks for everything, Benjamin, Jack. This is the most I've ever learned about cold calling in such a short time. If anyone's reading this, hearing this live show, you guys need to hit these people up. Like, it was insane. Thank you so much for everything.
No worries. No problem at all. And final thing from me, we have a lot of people always watch these shows now. If anyone knows somebody that they want to see on the show, if anybody wants to come on, it's no pressure. Drop us a message and we can figure out a really cool way to get you involved and do different angles of the show, like we've done today, right? Of selling a totally new product to prospects. Jack, Benjamin, I'll be back in your inboxes again very soon to get you on another one for sure. Just as a pre-warning. Yeah, but anyone who's interested, let me know. Give me a shout. We can get you on board. But other than that, thank you both. Wow, thank you all for.
Oh, thank you, George. Thank you.
Thank you. I enjoyed that very much.
Awesome. Yeah, we can do it again soon. Thank you everyone for watching. See you again in a few weeks.
Au revoir. Well done, guys.